Hey, what's going on? Welcome to week 3 of the AI Agent of the Week series, where we're going for 12 weeks covering AI agents, practical ones, things that I'm using every day in my work here at Bot Builders. And today I want to talk about Claude. Specifically, I want to go into Claude Cowork. Okay. Now, it's a new product from Claude. It's a desktop app. I think it's only on the Mac, and you need the Pro or Max account to use it. But Claude is a very fascinating company compared to ChatGPT. It's kind of more for professionals, more for business use and developers, versus ChatGPT is a more general product for a lot of consumer-based use. So there's not one's better than the other, but I think Claude is headed in a different direction, and I want to highlight some of its unique features, specifically Cowork. Now, a couple other updates. I think because Cowork is new and Claude is making so many changes, I have a feeling that in the next 4 or 5, 6 weeks, we will revisit Claude Cowork because it's going to have a bunch of improvements and doing different things. Now, what is an AI agent? Now, the main components of an agent, there's like 7, 8 factors that make an agent an agent. It's not just an AI that can think and talk back to you. I call that's just AI. But the agentic features of an AI agent is where it's thinking and it's planning and it's more strategic. And then you can see my list here. There can be various triggers, not just typing and talking to it. It can be triggered by a schedule. It can be triggered by other apps. So again, it plans, it makes decisions, and then it actually performs the tasks. It creates things itself. It has access to third-party tools when necessary. It has its own memory, sometimes long-term memory, sometimes short-term memory. And then whatever it produces and creates, it outputs in some type of thing at the end. So Claude has been famous for its artifacts. It's when you're using Claude.ai, you can create software and apps, tools, assessments, and right in Claude, it's going to produce an artifact, a cloud-based piece of software that you can share and interact with. And it's like a website, again, assessments, tools, games. That's what Claude already does, but Cowork is kind of different. So let me open up Cowork and kind of show you kind of the unique aspects. Again, Cowork, it doesn't do everything, but the unique aspect is that it's Claude as an agent on your physical desktop. And again, I think it's just on Mac right now. So the reason why you would want to use it, the biggest benefits is, again, based upon your desktop. You want to change files on your computer, manipulate files, manipulate folders, organize things. Imagine you have receipts and PDFs, images, screenshots. It not only can move files, but it can look at PDFs, images, pictures, look at the image, identify the components of like a receipt, and take images and numbers from a receipt and put that into a spreadsheet. Things like that. Just want to get your juices understanding when you may want to use it. Okay, so let me kind of show you what it looks like. I'm going to drag over my Claude Cowork to the screen here. And you can see in basic, if I click on chat, this is like the basic Claude chat with its features. At the top here, you see Cowork, where it has its functions. Let's knock something off your list. Create files, crunch data. So these are like the predetermined ideas of what it can actually do. And on the right here, you can see there's a little progress measurement thing, working folder, contacts. So these things will update based upon what it's doing. And then it has connectors. It can connect to other tools, other tools, other apps, other things like that. Those are the connectors, right? So back to code, and then there's code. Claude Code is also a part of Claude, and it's when you have the desktop app, you can see it there. I'm not a coder or developer, so I don't really mess around with it. But back to Cowork. Let me show you my first basic use cases. First thing I said was, I'm just going to the top. Can you organize and tidy up my desktop, especially the screenshots? Ask clarifying questions and share a plan of how you approach this task. So that was my prompt. And you can see here, it asked me 3 questions. What do you want me to do with the screenshots? How do I organize them? Should I create a summary when we're done? So it asked me some clarifying questions. It created a plan of what to do. And of course, I said, go ahead, just do what you got to do. And as a conclusion, it found 307 files on my desktop, and it organized them in 4 different folders: screenshots, images, videos, and documents. So again, this is what it did. And it gave me a summary report, kind of again, what did it do? It's like it's not loading, might have closed. It's been a couple of days since I'd done this. So that was the first use case, me testing it out. The next thing was I actually needed to take some text files and turn these text files into a PDF file. So this is strictly manipulating files in a specific folder, and it took all these text files and it automatically changed them into PDF files, which is great. Again, it took, I don't know, 5-10 seconds. You can see on the right side here, working folder. It kind of shows you the results of what it did. The skill that it used was PDF. Okay. And then lastly, let's go into, so I was thinking about that PDF file. This is Blast is a course on marketing and scaling a business that Matt Lights has created. And I'm working on creating an AI agent RAG system to train people based on that course. So you saw me with the text files turned into PDF. One thing I was like, I wonder, could Claude turn the course, because I have the transcripts of the course, can you turn these into an interactive game that teaches the main concepts and audit someone's existing business and see if they are prepared to scale their business? And so again, Claude summarized what I wanted. It read through the folder. It asked some clarifying questions here. What format is the game? How comprehensive should the audit be? And as a result, it came up with a questionnaire and a game audit. And I can find an example of what that looked like. Let me bring that over here 1 second. So here is the conclusion of the game based upon the B, the L, the A, the S to T: business model, lead generation, automated systems, sales, and traffic. And so again, I think this is my kind of conclusion. Do you have clearly defined the offer? This is kind of going deeper into it. Anyway, so this is the, yes, I have an offer that converts. So this is one of the versions of the audit. So it's cool. It's asking you questions. Do you know your customer acquisition cost and your customer lifetime value? Yes, I track them often. So again, it's going through the training in those 7 videos and turns it into an audit system. Okay. But then I asked Cowork, let me go pull up Cowork again. And we said, again, it took me some time to get it to work, and it created the files on my computer. Let me show you here. So this is the folder. These are the MP3 files, and this is the text transcript of the course. And then we have the audit. And then I started, let's make it a game. And it made it a game. And then I said, and then again, I can go back to the conversation. I said, let's turn the quiz into a game, something more fun and interactive. And so again, Claude asked me, here's 4 different types of games. Which one do you want? And I chose the scaling mountain climbing version of the game. And when it was done, it created an HTML file, which when you open it, here you go. According to Blast, what's the number one way to catch leads at scale? Number one way, a funnel, boom, 90% of Matt's revenue. And again, it gives a little point about Matt. For $2,500 product, which funnel is your best friend? I would say an automated webinar. And you can see as you answer the questions, the person on the left here is scaling up the mountain. A great lead magnet should be short, 500 pages long. A great lead magnet should solve one big problem. I think that's it. Solve one problem, leave them wanting more. I'd probably want to let the little bullet blurb last longer. Every workflow has 3 parts. What are they? If you have a workflow, you got a trigger, you got an action, and then you have some kind of time delay. So anyway, so now you can see, again, I'm climbing up the mountain. So this was one version of a game that can be used to teach and reinforce the material from that course. So again, this is what Claude Cowork can do. The key here is that the files are on my computer, and I'm having Claude read through audios, videos, text, or images and create something, think through the strategy and build something for me. And technically, when I was done, I said, can we turn this into an artifact, which is cloud based, where I could share with others? And so Claude gives me the React file to do this, and it gives me instructions of how to go to Claude.ai, start a new conversation, and turn this game into an artifact that can be shared with others. So let me see. Let's see. There it is. So it's a different browser here. So here it is. Here is the game, cloud-based, not on my desktop. Play the game or take the audit. So if I go here, what does B stand for? Business model. You're crushing it. So that's cool. So again, the cool thing about when you're making artifacts is that this file can be normally you can share it. So let me say, give me a link to share this game with. Actually, I'm almost out of usage. That's one thing about Claude. It does kind of get finicky on your credits or how much usage you use. And I think mine may be paused for 5 hours. But either way, I'm going to stop here. And again, I can share this. Oh, that's one, published. Publish the artifact. There we go. So if I publish this, and you know what? I'm going to put a link to this game and the audit underneath this video if you want to play around with it. And one thing with artifacts, which is again is kind of an agent-ish feature of Claude in general, you can have a link like this copy link, and I can share it with anybody and they can pull it up. But also when it comes to artifacts, you can also get an embed code. So I click embed code here, I can copy and paste this code and put it on my website like an iframe. So anybody who goes to my website, they can interact with this application, this mini app, this mini tool that I created. Okay, so this gives you an overview of some of the agentic features of Claude, specifically highlighting Claude Cowork, which lives on your desktop. If you have questions about using AI for your business that are very practical, that are specifically, we're looking at researching, monitoring things, helping out in your sales processes, your marketing, content creation, and then your operations of how you manage and maintain things. Reach out to me. You can find me, comment, DM me wherever you look. All right. Create a great day. Peace.